Norway, the homeland of football stars such as Erling Haaland and Martin Ødegaard, is often considered one of the countries that was born with a head start. Although it has a population of only around 5.6 million people, less than half the population of Ho Chi Minh City, Norway possesses a national wealth fund worth nearly 2 trillion USD, among the largest in the world. If divided equally, each citizen would represent assets worth several billion Vietnamese dong. The country also consistently ranks among the world's leaders in income, education, healthcare, living standards, and happiness. Beyond its wealth, Norway is famous for its breathtaking natural landscapes, including fjords, islands, and iconic Nordic scenery. Interestingly, this land was once associated with the fierce Viking warriors of history, but today it is known as a peaceful nation with friendly people and a very high quality of life. Geographically, Norway is located in the western part of the Scandinavian peninsula, sharing borders with Sweden, Finland, and a small section with Russia in the north. Most of its territory faces the sea, creating a coastline stretching tens of thousands of kilometers, when islands and small bays are included. With an area of about 385,000 square kilometers, Norway is roughly 50,000 square kilometers larger than Vietnam, yet its population is only slightly above 5 million. As a result, Norway has one of the lowest population densities in Europe, averaging only about 15 people per square kilometer. The capital of Norway is Oslo, home to around 700,000 residents and more than 1 million people when the surrounding metropolitan area is included, accounting for nearly 1/5 of the country's population. Apart from Oslo, Norway does not have many major cities because much of its territory consists of mountains, forests, lakes, and coastlines. The country stretches more than 1,700 kilometers from north to south, similar in length to Vietnam, but many areas are extremely narrow in width. Its unique terrain has created world-famous fjords, where cliffs thousands of meters high rise dramatically from the sea, forming spectacular landscapes. Norway's climate also varies significantly. The southern regions are relatively mild due to the influence of warm ocean currents, while the north experiences long winters, freezing temperatures, and heavy snowfall. However, this region is an ideal destination for viewing the northern lights. During summer, some northern areas experience the midnight sun, when daylight remains throughout the day, while in winter, certain places can remain in darkness for several weeks. When people mention Norway, they often think of wealth and prosperity. The country has a GDP per capita exceeding 90,000 USD per year, along with a high-quality education and healthcare system and a low unemployment rate. The foundation of this prosperity comes largely from oil and gas resources. In the late 1960s, Norway discovered major oil fields in the North Sea, creating a major turning point for its economy. Instead of spending all the profits from oil production, the Norwegian government established a national investment fund to preserve wealth for the future. The Norwegian Oil Fund is now one
of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, investing in thousands of companies globally. Norway only uses a small portion of the fund's annual returns for its national budget, allowing the majority of its wealth to be preserved and continue growing for future generations. Norway is also the homeland of the Vikings. However, the rise of these historical people was not simply driven by warfare, as often portrayed in movies, but was largely shaped by the harsh environment they lived in. More than 70% of Norway's land area consists of mountains, forests, and plateaus, while the amount of arable land is extremely limited. Agriculture accounts for only around 3%. These challenging natural conditions force the people living here to adapt, explore the oceans, and expand their horizons to the wider world. The harsh climate, with its long winters, has made Norwegians closely connected with the sea for centuries. From a young age, they learned how to row boats, fish, and navigate rough waters, turning maritime skills into an essential part of everyday life. While many Europeans had limited contact with the ocean, Norwegians grew up alongside the sea and the wine. This land is also famous as the home of the Vikings, legendary seafarers and explorers. The popular image of Vikings wearing horned helmets and carrying axes in movies is largely exaggerated. Archaeologists have never discovered Viking battle helmets with horns. In reality, warriors usually wore simple iron helmets during combat. Vikings were not only fighters, but also merchants, farmers, craftsmen, and highly skilled sailors. From the 8th to the 11th centuries, Viking ships traveled across vast seas, from the Arctic regions to the Mediterranean, carrying goods such as timber, animal hides, amber, and dried fish for trade. In some places, they engaged in peaceful commerce, while in others, they launched raids. Therefore, the Vikings were a combination of traders, explorers, and warriors. Another remarkable achievement of Norwegian Vikings was their exploration of North America. In the late 10th century, they traveled first to Iceland, then Greenland, and later reached a region known as Vinland, located in present-day Canada. Around the year 1000, Leif Erikson set foot in North America. Nearly 500 years before Columbus, the Vikings did not originate only from Norway but also from Denmark, Sweden, and Iceland. However, each group followed different paths. Danish Vikings often moved toward England and France. Swedish Vikings expanded eastward for trade, while Norwegian Vikings focused on exploring the Atlantic Ocean. Today, Norway has transformed completely from its image as a land of warriors. It is now a peaceful country where people are reserved, respect the law, and have a deep appreciation for nature. However, the Viking spirit still remains in modern life. Norwegians continue to seek challenges through mountain climbing, skiing, sailing, and exploring new places. On weekends, many Norwegian families take their children camping in the forests, even during cold weather. They believe that staying close to nature helps people develop both physical strength and mental resilience. In the past, harsh living conditions, a small population, and difficult terrain forced the Vikings to build ships and cross oceans in search of opportunities. They became famous warriors, merchants, and explorers. Today, those same seas provide valuable oil and gas resources, helping Norway become one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Norway's history shows that geography can create advantages, but the way people use those advantages determines their future. Football is also an important part of Norwegian life. Although Norway is often imagined as a country covered in snow all year round, many southern regions actually have a climate suitable for playing football in summer, with temperatures ranging from around 18–25 degrees Celsius. In winter, football heating systems are used to maintain training activities. Although its population is fewer than 6 million people, Norway has produced many world-famous footballers such as Erling Haaland and Martin Dedegaard. Thanks to its strong youth development system and well-established sports culture, children are encouraged to participate in various activities such as football, skiing, running, and mountain climbing, helping them build exceptional physical strength from an early age. Norway does not try to fight against its harsh natural conditions. Instead, it turns them into an advantage. The cold environment has helped shape a nation that is resilient, adaptable, and physically strong. Some interesting facts about Norway. Norway is both one of Europe's major oil and gas exporters and the country with the highest electric vehicle adoption rate in the world. More than 90% of new cars sold are electric vehicles. Thanks to strong government incentives and high taxes on fossil fuel-powered cars, Norwegian citizens also have the right to freely access nature through the law known as allemannsretten. They can hike, camp, pick wild berries, or relax in many natural areas, as long as they protect the environment and respect others. Norway's prison system is also unique. Instead of focusing solely on punishment, it emphasizes helping inmates reintegrate into society through private living spaces, sports facilities, and vocational training programs. This humane approach has contributed to lowering the rate of repeat offenses. Finally, salmon is one of Norway's most important economic symbols. Thanks to its clean, cold waters and advanced farming technology, Norwegian salmon is exported to more than 100 countries around the world. Besides salmon, the seafood industry, including cod and many other marine products, also plays a crucial role in the country's economy. Norway is a story of harmony between people and nature. From the Viking ships that crossed oceans centuries ago to a modern, wealthy, and highly developed nation today. Thank you for following the story of Norway. What impressed you the most about this country? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Join Yuan Min as we travel across different lands and discover new and fascinating things. See you again on the next journeys. Fields often use artificial grass and heating systems,